Hi guys, hope everyone is doing well. So yeah, in this video I'm going to do a tactical analysis breakdown of the game against Wolves. Obviously it's something I'm passionate about, something I love to do. I watched the game back, I've got some notes, I've got some things I want to talk about, show you some ways we play, some maybe weaknesses, some things we can improve, from my opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, what I liked originally was from kickoff here, so you had Rodrigo and Bamford already over the ball, start showing what we were going to do. Aronson here. Adams and Rocco were really high up. The fullbacks were more like this. It's already a very attacking start. And what we did was, Bamford gave Rodrigo the ball. Bamford had instantly gone up there. Aronson has instantly gone in this space. Aronson has instantly gone up there. Adams came across here, so Rocco was in behind, in that space where these guys weren't. Space there. Adams came here, and Rasmus was instantly up here. So as you can see there, even from kickoff, and Rodrigo's first touch, by the way, was in here when Bamford passed it to him. He was in this area already pushing that forward momentum onto Wolves. He ended up passing it to Rasmus here, but you can see the initial, and look, obviously these guys have moved up, so they weren't so exposed, but you can see straight from the start the emphasis on forward movements and forward passing and forward pressing, forward play. That's how direct it was. We told Wolves from the start, this is what we're doing, this is our game, this is how we're going to play. So I like that. Yeah, and then so what we did was we passed the ball around. We made like 2 or 3 more passes after that. It came out here, it went over there, it came back. Robin Koch drove the ball up here. I'm not sure. I think his initial look here was Koch, which he tried to play it for Bamford. But what's interesting about that was the second Koch got the ball. These guys here, Erasmus, Aronson, Rodrigo, Bamford, Adams, their movement was all up forward. So it ended up a bit like this. It was all like this. Obviously, it was played into Bamford. Harrison would come in here. Rocco would move up here. This is as Cox kicking the ball. So all our men were their our goal side of the ball, apart from Bamford, who it was intended for, which is great. It shows that forward movement. The problem was the pass didn't work. After he played that ball, obviously it didn't work out. This guy here, I can't remember the defender, won the ball. It bypassed the midfield instantly and went straight to Podence here. And as you can see, because of that, they anticipate they would win the ball. We're already up here. The space then was between these 4 up here. And that's where you would be exposed in games, right? But then what we did was, we dealt with it. The ball went, I'll just do this quickly, the ball went over here. There were a few players over, some players got over. We got back quite well. Wolves had a few players over. We were up here, whatever. Adams was in there, like that. Rocco was in there. So what you had was, the guy out here, he tried to run. I think Koch was up here. He tried to run down there, but Pascal cut that run out. And we had 4 men, 5 men around the ball. And obviously, the Wolves midfielder moved up, right? But already, then, you're seeing, then Donk was out here with Aronson. It was 2-on-2 in the middle here with Harrison and Rodrigo, I believe. So what you're seeing then is 5. We win that ball back here. There. We're a 3 versus nothing in this position. Because they can't leave their man. Because they're going to leave Harrison exposed. If they go here, there's space in here. So this is the risk. The risk and reward. So the ball Koch played originally was intended to be won, right? But the risk of the pass was there's a high percentage it wouldn't be. So the reaction is then the most important thing. Can we win that second ball? So yeah, the risk and reward is the thing there. So when Koch played that ball originally, the answer was, can we win that second ball? Now what happened was the header was precise and it missed out the entire midfield and went straight to their front 3. So that's where you'd think Leeds are going to get exposed in that situation. However, in this particular situation, we got bodies around the ball and we won this initial battle here. So it's winning your battles. And then we had these here. And of course, as I said before, these guys can't commit because then these guys are free in this space here, and then you're screwed in this situation. If it gets to these, that's when we score, or we make a chance, right? I like that. I like the way we surround the ball. Everywhere we play, there is more than one or two people around the ball. It's a ball-orientated formation. It's a ball-orientated system. It's all about the ball. It's all about where we are in comparison with the ball. And from this, we went forward and created a chance. The first sort of defensive area we showed where the system worked was a few minutes after, not even like 30 seconds after that, we lost the ball up top. They countered with Neto. And ignore all this back half of the pitch here. Ignore all this. I'm talking about this bit here. So the defensive area. So what we did was they won the ball, had a quick attack down the left with Neto, and we had this many people here, and they only had 3 attackers. So there's no way out. So they went up here in the corner, and we were on them. It was literally like this. There's no way out. There's no way out of that situation. And if we can do that more than often than not, where we get in that area where we can hold them in, that's how this system can really work. And again, look at it. It's men around the ball. It's all about the ball. It don't matter who's over here. We're not at that. We're not at that area of the pitch. Win the ball here. Don't let them get the cross in. Don't let them progress over here. And that's, you've done your job. That's how the system can work. And I just want to say as well, after that moment, the next 2 or 3 minutes, it was Wolves trying to play a long ball. We win in the second ball. If we didn't win the second ball, the pass after that, we won. And if Wolves got the ball back high up the pitch, we'd press them to the point where we'd break down the play with a foul high up. We can deal with that, that's fine. Because it's all about second ball. If they have free kick high up, they play it long, we win the second ball. That's the point. So we were very good in the first 5 minutes of breaking their play down, not letting them do anything. Every time they had the ball, we were all around them, we were swarming them. And they looked really uncomfortable. And this is again just showing the press. This is in the first 3 minutes of the game. This is attacking situation. Just showing the press, showing how the system is working. So Agnori has the ball down here. He tries some tricky pass in the middle. Aronson puts him off. He comes into here like this, and then suddenly we've got it. The ball. He tries to release the ball. He mispasses it. It's gone to Bamford. And I'm looking at here. We've got Rocker here. We've got Adams all winning the ball. Rodrigo's making this movement. Aronson's left him. He's coming in behind here. This creates problems here. Who do you mark? So Bamford then, again, look, around the ball. Rocker's ready for anything here. Adams is ready to make a run somewhere else. Bamford is driving here. Running at them. Scaring them. And from this situation, obviously, you pass it to Harrison and we lose the ball. Because, you know, the passing isn't right. That's fine. You work on that, that's fine. That's understanding each other. I'm just showing examples here of how we won the ball. It's the same names. It's Aronson, Adams, every time. They're always around the ball. Wherever the ball is, they'll be close to it. And that's what's important in the system. The players that are going to win the ball high up or in defence are the ones around it all the time. And that's what we saw constantly in the first half from them. You know, after this play, for example, Harrison lost the ball in here. And then in here, we get a loose ball and Rocker wins it and we're on attack again. That's 4 times in the first 4 minutes. Yeah, I literally just timed it. So from this happening, Harrison loses the ball here, and some stuff happens. They kick it long out here, right? Adams was here. Talking what, 10 seconds later? He's here, he's won the ball here. In about 10 seconds. And they did one quick transition over the top. Pascal held him up, Adams won the ball. And then all the players are all around the ball again. So that's my point. It's the same players that are the ones providing the energy, providing the press. Adams does this. He works like this. He'll just run wherever the angle is. He'll do it. That's his job. And he did it excellently. And it's showing that in the first few minutes of the game. And so this is just the press in the first 4 minutes. And I'll get into the goal after this. So Sa has the ball here. He gives it out here. I think this guy has it here. It's Johnny. Harrison, then, he's pressing him here. He's got no options. There's nothing on, apart from maybe a ball over the top. But a minute ago, they lost that. And this is from the goal kick. And it's this. We win the ball here. And these players, Aronson's making a run. He's coming in here. Look at this. This is just it. Again, look how close they all are. It's this. We've gone 4v4. The press is 3 or 4 people every time. And we've won the ball here. Bamford gets the ball in this position. He tries to play a pass through Aronson. Doesn't work out. Gets cut out. But look how easy it is for us to create a chance from their goal kick. And we did this 4 or 5 times in the game. We won the ball so much around these areas, depending on what side it was. And this is big. This can get you goals, a lot of goals, especially against poorer sides that can't deal with the press. Yeah, the goal. Let's talk about the goal. What happened for the goal? Right. So originally what happened was, I think it was either this guy, one of the defenders for Wolverhampton, he's kicked the ball long from here to here. Now this guy here, can't remember who it was, but basically Llorente read the pass. So he steps in front, but what happens is it's like an awkward height. So he heads it down. He didn't get hold of the touch. He read it. In fairness, Adams is really close here. He read it, but he heads it down, so it gets away from him. And the ball then comes to this guy. Obviously, Rocker's up here. Llorente is trying to get the ball here. He's out of position. Adams is around here, yeah. But this guy's already anticipated it. He's already on his bike. He's already on his bike here. And Pascal has to come in and cover for Llorente. So this guy's already on his bike at the back. So then Neves gets it, and it's a ball over the top. So that's a 50-50 here. And what we saw was Rasmus didn't win the 50-50, which is the first area of the pitch. And yeah, you got to win the 50-50 there. You have to win the 50-50. It's right out here, isn't it? You have to win that 50-50. Because it is 1v1, and he had to win it, and he didn't. And he'll be annoyed. I know he'll be annoyed at that as a player. It's nothing to do with tactics or being a good player. He just lost 50-50. You've got to win them. That was the first area. Then after he doesn't win the ball, we're in this position here. Obviously, Llorente had gone up to you know, after the touch to try and win the ball back. So he was extremely out of position. So that leaves Adams, who has to cover that. And then Pascal. But Pascal's watching this guy here, because Harrison was already far up the pitch. So he's in 2 minds. And then Llorente is behind this guy. So Adam doesn't know, does he go here or does he come here? So we're exposed because of we didn't win the ball up here. Rocker's trying, Aronson's trying, but the Wolves players are already in front. Momentum, right? So that's stage 2. We're outnumbered in these positions because of the original not winning the ball here, or the original Llorente touch wasn't good enough, or whatever. We're in the position because of 2 individual mistakes we made as a team. In the final stage, stage 3 of the goal is this. The player heads the ball into Podence here. And then because of what happened before, Adams, he wasn't in... Who did he mark? There was too many he had to get. These guys are retreating and they're not back quick enough. A second later, they'd have been back. But we didn't have that second. It's Premier League. You don't have those seconds most of the time. So he didn't know which man to come for. He heads it down here quickly. He's got a turn. He can't get there in front of it. Pascal tries, but again, it's just a second too late. These guys are retreating from this area. He's got space. Hits it against the ground. Yeah, goes in the corner. So that was a goal. It's interesting because a lot of people probably blame the system and that quick ball, but the original came from us winning the ball back, but the touch wasn't good enough and the reaction wasn't probably good enough. And Ruben Neves, who's a great passer, give a first-time ball, by the way, over the top for a one-on-one with Rasmus out here, and he's not won it. Then you're in big trouble because you're not back. And if they can pick a perfect cross out, which they did, and a perfect head back to the player, which they did, you can't react to that. If it's one touch, that's 3. That's like from here to there is 2 touches and it's a goal. So yeah, you will look at that. You tell the players you've got to win it here. You've got to win. Rasmus has got to win that. Llorente's got to figure that one out. Maybe the guys have to talk. Adams just... The ball was in the air. Maybe you could have just gone in here and anticipated the header would have been saved by Elan. I don't know. That's a risk, and I don't think we knew. You've got a split second to react, and we didn't react well enough. That's their goal. That's my opinion. Yeah, again, on the theme of that high press and that pressure and hunting in packs, and also not really caring so much about giving the ball away because we know or we believe that we can win the second ball. So what happens in the about 10th minute, Llorente has the ball here. We've passed it back, Adams won it back here, won it around here. And it's something like this. But what happens is the long ball is usually in for Bamford here. But Aronson is actually the one it's intended for up here. That late run in behind here, in between the two. Bamford comes out. That's the intention. It's that. You've got him following, but it's that. The ball over there, boom. But what happens is, obviously, they read it. They win the ball in here. Like that. So he goes the ball over there. It's won by their defender. In order to win the ball, he leaves his man. Rodrigo's over here. Harrison's over here. Rocker is up here. Adams is up here. What happens is, the ball comes over. He wins it. He wins the header there. Straight down, second ball. Bamford is there. Bamford has it for the second ball. This defender here tries to get it. Bamford gets there first. The ball comes out here. 1v1 with Bamford. Basically, the guy shows Bamford down the line. The guy wins it back. But then this is the bit I want to talk about. So he's got it down here. And obviously Bamford's pressuring him. And you're thinking, you know, Bamford's right here. There's nothing he can do. Like Nuri has it. No, he's facing their goal. He's facing this goal here. So all he can do is spin, knock it down the line. But what happens is, and this epitomises the system. Go straight into number 10. Rocker reads it, wins the ball here. Look at the position you're in. Right? Options. Instantly, 4 players around the ball, high press in this corner of the pitch. Forget all this. This is where the ball is, and this is where we want to win it. And this is where we won the ball so many times in this game. Rocker then passes the ball to Rodrigo. That's the option. He then shoots. I think he blocks it and he kicks it out. But it's the thought, right? The execution will come. It will become more consistent with training. But it's the thought, and this is the system. This is the tactics. And these players are doing that. This is brilliant. And this was 5, 6, 7 times in the game, in these areas, that we did that. But after he kicks the ball, and this is the impressive bit, Pop gets the header in here. 50-50 in here. Won by Adams. We lose it again. Then there's a ball up here, straight after this loss. Rocker wins the ball. And then we play it around here somewhere. So we've won the ball back 3 times in the space of 10 seconds. 4 times if you count this one. And that's what it's about. Obviously, you want to keep the ball and you want to be consistent. But that will come. But it's good to see when we don't always have the ball, we can't keep the ball. We are always winning that second ball straight after we lose it. Most of the time, anyway. They're not even a minute after that. And I'm not going to change everything, I'm just going to speak. The keeper has the ball. They play it out to defence. He knocks it down here. Rocker wins it in here again. But from this position, they're advanced. They've gone up here. You know, this isn't here. This is like this, right? Yeah, whatever. You know, Rasmus is back here. Aronson's here. Rocker's won it in here again. They've tried to pass in here. Rocker's won that. He's read that. He's won that. And it goes straight to Rodrigo, who's coming in here. Bamford's running in behind. Harrison's here. Inter-movement here is brilliant, by the way. These two changed often. Rodrigo gets it. Straight after that, it doesn't come off. He tries to pass to Aronson. He gets intercepted. Guess what happens? They try to play it out here. Adams racing across here, by the way. Pressure on him. We win it in here. I think it's Rocker again. He wins the ball in here again. This is 10 seconds after the previous one. That's 8 times I've now mentioned we win the ball up here in the first 12 minutes of the game. After that, this is the Aronson chance where Aronson has a shot and it nearly got, well, it's a good shot. I think they block it. It's in here. And it's this movement here. We win it up here. Look at the areas we've got. All they're bothered about is defending the box. We've got this area on the pitch locked here, locked down. Now Rodrigo stays out here. Adams clicks the ball into Aronson, and this is where we see him drive at the defenders, which draws these two. I think Aknuri gets back here, yeah. They get back here, he gets back here. So Rodrigo's out the game. But Adams then makes this run inside, which you thought maybe Aronson could have made at this point here. A little slip through, potentially. But it's an option. Aronson then moves in here. You know, you got Harrison coming in here as well to receive the pass. Has a shot, goes wide. But my point is, within a minute, we've won the ball back 5 times in our own half. We've won 2 corners in that time. And we've had a shot on goal in 5 minutes. And that's the Jesse Marsch system. That's what he wants from his players. Right, now for the Leeds goal. I took my earphones off because it's just too warm today. So the Leeds goal for me was 3 areas. So it started with a throw-in, which Wolves had. And so what happens is that they then boot it from the back and kick it up. And Llorente and Koch are in between each other like this. I'll show you. Like this, right? So Llorente's here. Ignore everyone else. By the way, I did this bit already, but I didn't hit record. So I'm doing it again. So the first stage is this, winning the second ball. And when they clear it, whoop, Koch doesn't, but Llorente wins that second ball. And he heads it this time. He anticipates it and he heads it straight into Matt Rucker, who's in this position. You know, Bamford's up here. Harrison's in and around here. We're all in and around each other like this. Like this. Right. Rucker wins it in here. He's marked by someone. But what he does is, there's a nice little chest. Straight over to Bamford. Then you've got people running around Bamford. But the main the main aspect of this is everyone is moving in that direction. Everyone's moving forward. So that's, for me, that's vital. And when we win the ball back, Rucker's pass to Bamford, then passes to Harrison, who tries to feed Rodrigo through. But Nori wins it here. But when Nori wins it, Aronson and Rodrigo are literally here. They are on him. He tries to get out. He fails. And this is all about the high press, guys. Aronson wins it back. Harrison gets the ball back here. 3 of our players want that ball there. They are that close to it. Bamford ain't far as well. He's around here somewhere. Lurking like he does. But Harrison gets it, drives with it. 3v2. Their defender tackles him. And there's a loose ball in this area here. But what happens with the loose ball, Rodrigo's now out here. And Harrison's moved out here. What happens with that loose ball after Harrison loses it is Harrison wins 50-50. That goes straight to Rodrigo, who takes his man on. Boom. The ball's over here. Don't know what I'm doing. Boom. But the initial, the 3 parts are winning the ball back with these 2. This midfield play, getting the ball in transition from Rocker to Bamford successfully. That's been difficult, but we did it this time. And when we did it, we piled bodies forward consistently. And that's what we saw here. The third part was winning the ball. We won the ball in the box twice in a matter of 5 seconds to score this goal. And that's desire. That's believing in the system. That's believing in yourself. That's wanting that ball. That's wanting to score. That is everything for me. And that's why that goal was excellent from a Leeds perspective. It was a Leeds Jesse Marsch type goal. And I really enjoyed it. So that was basically the first half. After that, we dominated. We were really, really good. I don't want this video to be too long. I want to aim for less than maybe 45 minutes. But I could honestly analyse deeply every second of it, but I'm not gonna because I don't get paid for it. and yeah, it'd just be too long. You guys can watch the game back and do your own stuff as well, you know. That's just my opinion on what I've seen. What we've seen after that was Rasmus was getting more confident. He was whipping crosses in the box. Aronson was a devil. He was all over this. He was winning corners, free kicks, everything. He was excellent. And Rocker and Adams in here was solid. So that's the first half. Now let's get on to the second. Now for me, this is what happened in the second half. So initially, this is the Wolves. But what they did was... So Neto in the first half was out here. Noria was back here. Same in this position, right? It was more rigid. Can't speak. It was more rigid. They were a bit higher, kind of playing on Adams and Rocker at times, like this. But what happened with Wolves in the second they did this? This is Aknura here, and this is Neto. What happened was this. When they established grips on the ball, these two sat really deep on Bamford here, like this. Aknura is up here now. He's up here. And what would happen is he could come out here, he could sit and dominate. And this winger, Neto, would play in these areas here. So you see the issue. They really went wide, they really pushed for it. Same at this side as well. This is the right back, this is the winger. He's coming in here, he's going in here. If they get the ball at this side, it's this. Wide across areas here, which is difficult to press if you're playing so wide. You're bringing your wingers in here. Oh, there is a risk, which is down to why they lost the game in the end. But also, the issue what they were doing was, at Noura here, when he got the ball, this is at Noura number 2, he would sometimes come inside, creating problems for marking. Who's man 2? You get the ball here, at Noura would run inside. Does he go? Does he stay? Harrison's in here, because in midfield as well, these two sitting midfielders, and ignore, I haven't got the names. These two sitting midfielders here of Dendoncker and Ruben Neves. If these two pushed up, that left this, he's running here, right? That leaves this area exposed. So these couldn't push up on these two. Also, Harrison's in here, Bamford's doing the back line here. But Rodrigo couldn't mark 2 of them. Aronson's watching out here, right? So that led to this overload in the middle. So what happened was they kept coming through here, like this, creating space, creating space, creating space. And that leave 1, 2, 3, 4 exposed. We couldn't press like that because there was no way to press. If he gets the ball here, this is a centre-back, by the way. If he has the ball here and we do the normal press, it's this, right? 2v1. He comes over. 3v1. Rodrigo comes over. 3 in the middle. Then he has to come over. It's 2 in the middle. He comes down. He comes over. You see what I mean? We're out of position. We're out of luck. So I think that's why we accepted until the subs came in. Because don't make me wrong, you could backfire this with energy, and Wolves couldn't do this the entire game because they, especially Nori, was running a lot in this area, and no one could pick him up. You know, you could say Adams could maybe come out and pick him up, but then that leaves this area so exposed, especially if Ruben Neves is controlling Rocker in this area, because Neves was moving a lot around here. They always had them one man spare because of the way we played, because they were so wide. And that was what happened for me. I'm sorry this is all confusing. You can go back and watch this bit again. But it was basically the fullbacks were coming inside, and the other one was stood right out wide. And the guys, I just don't think they know who to mark at times. That's when what we did was, we then sat, we did this a little bit. Kind of a bit like this. To an extent, right? Narrow, narrow, narrow. Foden's in here. Occupied. Rodrigo sat here. Bamford stayed up here. And also, when we did get the ball back, these two centre mids of Neves and Dendoncker were like this. He was here. He was here. Where the options, right? Maybe Rodrigo. But then he's got 2 pressing him straight away. He was coming up on Bamford. It was difficult for us to produce that energy to create that pass, that movement we needed, because Rodrigo was getting tired. You know, to do a lot of running. Bamford's touch wasn't great. Harrison was exposed. Harrison was exposed out here, getting tired. So what we did was we sat deep like this. We did kind of like this. Rodrigo's running these areas. Harrison was coming deep here. So then when we did get the ball, because we were sitting like this, so deep, basically cut this area and this area, so they couldn't do this anymore. That's what we did. That's why we did that. And that was for 15, 20 minutes. And obviously, they didn't really have much from it because we created a decent little low block here. You know, it was very compact. The only issue was, of course, when we won the ball back in these areas here, they had maybe one here. Look, they've got all this here. How can we penetrate this? They were committing him. That'd have been silly because then they've only got 2v1, but they didn't. They kept one back at all times. Nevers was patrolling this area to cut anything off here. Bamford was exposed. He'd come over. Right? And the reason they didn't really penetrate as much was probably because they didn't put as many forward as they could have. Because they didn't want to leave the self exposed at the back. That's what I got from it. And then obviously, we made changes after that hard period. And that's when we brought on Mateus Click. And the entire game changed. Click and Greenwood came on. The entire game changed. Here's why. For me, what happened when Click came on? So Rodrigo, obviously we were exposed because these guys couldn't run all this here. We were exposed in certain areas. But when Click came on, Click did this running, but also this running. So Rocker could then focus, or Adams could focus this pass in here, meaning Aronson could focus here, and Click would do this to this to this, right? This area, because he has that energy, that's what he's good at, we know that. He's got that energy and he will bother players. And he took all this, so Bamford could then focus on 1v1 with his defender in these positions here, right? Because they couldn't double him up because then that'd leave space, because Click was occupying this area. We were still a little exposed, so this is what happened. Rocker was tired, Rocker came off for Sam Greenwood, which I'll think it. Can't remember his number, but anyway. So then that became energetic. So then Click could focus this area, these three, meaning this guy couldn't go up because he was covered by Click. So Harrison was fine, focused here. Or it might have been Harrison, whichever side they were on at the time. You then had Greenwood focusing behind Click. So if they beat Click's press here, they beat this press, you then had Greenwood in this area, leaving Adams free. That's what happened in the second half. This meant there were 2v1 at the back here in these areas. Because these guys didn't want to commit. Because if they lost the ball, we're in. Because these guys had energy. 3v2. So for me, that's what happened when Click and Greenwood come on. And I'll get into some situations now. Also, on the ball as well. Say we had the ball in this position. It's kind of a bit like this. There wasn't many options. That's still Rocker at this point, by the way. That's still Rocker at this point. It was like this. It was a bit exposed. This is with Rodrigo. He was not really. He didn't know if to come or go. If he did come, this guy would cover his area here. So it was more. When Click came on, he was here already. Yeah. And then Aronson coming here. See what I mean? So Click had the energy to come out wide, which left space for Rocker, who was Rocker at the time, in there. Aronson's in here. Bamford's then got that space to attack. Oh, this is also what happened. So Bamford came in here. Click moved him out. Little 1-2 in here. Click to Rocker. Bamford came in feet. Click runs off. Takes him out. Harrison comes in here. 1v1. Boom. Then suddenly, you are attacking. And you're back in that position where you can dominate. Then you've got Adams in here. And this really freed up Rocker to do his thing, passing. There's so many situations, or you could even, he was in one of these where Click had it. The space in here. Pascal went out there. Click's got the ball in here. 1-2 with Bamford, who comes short. Out to Pascal. Drags him out. Runner. Boom. 3v2 again. And this is what we start to do after that 20-minute period with the introduction of Greenwood and Click. Let's go on to the goal. So what happened again, as well as the play, it was energy. So Click's introduction and Greenwood's introduction later on give us energy. It give the players energy, give the players more desire. Seeing this guy run around, they did it. Once we got more possession of the ball, we got more confident, and that's when their movement started to come back into play. So now we get onto the goal, and again I'll put it into parts. So it started with them back here, and what they did was Bamford pressing brilliant up here. We're all up here again, like we always are. Pascal's here. The Greenwood's just come on. Adams is still chilling around here. We're like this, right? We're around the ball. He boots it long. Pascal wins the second ball. He wins it. He heads it against the back of him. He has it. And now you're starting to see where the goal came from here. You can already see. So it's like this. I'm trying to figure out where Harrison was. Yeah, so it's like this. This is the first part. Pascal has the ball here. He wins it. So yeah, this is the situation. So Pascal wins the ball. Adams is free in here. Takes two out with one pass because Greenwood is in a forward-thinking position. Greenwood has the ball here. First introduction, by the way. First touch of the game. Gives it to Adams. Look at the space. Look at the new subs. Look at the space they are in. They're picking up pockets forward. This is why subs are very important in this system. They can change the entire game just with the energy and the thinking. Klitsch is a smart player. Adams gets the ball in here with all the space, gives the ball to Click. You know what happens next. Ball through to Bamford. Aaronson's running in. Forget the defenders, don't matter where they are. Boom, own goal, or whatever you want to call it. But that's how easy it is. Introduction with subs is very important, and if they fit the system and they understand the role, this is what you can do. Pascal wins the ball, right? First thing came from the press. This defender around here was here, booted the ball here. Pascal wins it. That's two good things already. Pascal is relaxed, takes two out of the game. Greenwood in a forward-thinking position to Greenwood. Greenwood turns, Adams sees a pass, give me that ball, pulls it through to Click, slips a pass, I think it's like there, slips it through to pass, boom. Bamford, looking forward, wants to score. Click, forward-thinking pass, through here. Bamford, cross, Aronson, a central midfielder, or attacking midfielder, whatever you want to call him, in the box. Goal. Desire, passion. And that was it for Leeds. 2-1. And I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go too much more into it. That goal really summed both the goals. In both the goals, what you had was this. Different goals, very similar. It started off with a long ball they played. We won the second ball. Both started off with that. The second step was the midfield link-up, which we saw here. Pass, 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 goal. The other one was Rocker to Bamford, to Harrison. The difference in the first goal was we lost the ball and we won it back. That's fourth. That's a fourth good thing. These are all elements of Jesse Marsch and the way he wants to play football. And the fifth, precise. Killer instinct. Bamford, great cross to Aronson, not missing from there, or an own goal, whatever. You see, goals are similar in so many ways. Even though they might look completely different, they are similar in so many ways. And throughout the game, I could go on for hours talking about pressing. It was relentless. I'm not here to talk about Wolves, I'm here to talk about Leeds. It was relentless. And when Elan had to step up, he stepped up. Of course, in this system, there's going to be times you're going to get exposed a little bit against good teams. Elan stepped up to the plate. He was confident. The subs were vital. And that's what it's about for me. Yeah, and that's what I want to see every week. This consistent play, this high press in numbers. Winning if the press fails, winning that next ball. Not letting our defence get exposed. In terms of scoring, I want to see this forward thinking, forward moving passing. Because when we do it, it frightens teams. And then if we lose it from that, winning the second ball in transition. After that, how's the transition? Ordered between defence, midfield and attack. Does it connect well? Are the movements right? That's what I want to see, and that's what will get us a lot of success this season. We're a good team to watch. We're exciting to watch. That's what we wanted. We're playing good football. We're playing energetic football, and I'm extremely happy. Look, I'm gonna stop there because I could go on for ages. I don't want to make this video 2 hours long, but I hope you all enjoyed. It was a bit different, a bit wild. I get too into it. I apologise if it's too much. It's just something different. I think I'm not gonna do one every week. I'm gonna do one, maybe 2 a month, every few weeks, and we can see progression. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, this took me hours. I had to watch the entire game and stop it every 5 minutes. So please just appreciate a like and a comment or anything. Any advice? Is the sound better this time? Anything, I'd really appreciate it. Just to know that you like this content, because I will do 1 or 2 a month. Yeah, thanks for the support. You guys are amazing. Peace.